All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Racing League Superspeedway Cup Series here at Daytona. It's going to be 75 scheduled laps for the race this evening. So drivers making their qualifying laps right now. But as you can see there, this is going to be race number 6 of 12. So this will get us to the halfway point in Season 5. You see right now leading the points is Kevin Freeze. You got Matt Quick there in second, Dale Willoughby in third, and then say Logan Hilton, missing the race last week, falls to fourth place. However, still just ahead of Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler. Now say the remainder of the top 10 you see there's Josh Stichterman, Evan Pienta, Jack Walls, and Dude Conrad. So yeah, so drivers making their laps right now. So again, right now those top two are definitely right in the mix with each other. Again, only that 7 point of a difference between the two of them. However, third on back definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Try to have some good races. Probably have to hope for a little bit of trouble for these two leaders here as the season progresses. But again, still a long ways to go. A lot can happen here. So with that though, we'll let these drivers finish up their laps, and then we will go over the starting grid here in just a few minutes. Alright, qualifying has just finished up here. So again, welcome to Green White Checker TV. I am joined again this evening though by Roy Wheeler. Say, Roy, glad to have you back. Glad your internet is back, because definitely missed you last week. But say again, these guys are going to be putting on a show tonight with that 75 laps tonight here at Daytona.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to have internet again. You forget how much you rely on it. So hopefully we'll have a good race tonight here at Daytona. See how it goes.
Yeah, you can never tell with these races. I'll say, however, we just mentioned that 63 of Logan Hilton missing last week's race. I was going to get a bonus point right off the bat here, winning the pole position here. So let's pull up our starting grid for this evening. So on the front row, you have Logan Hilton. However, in second is points leader Kevin Freeze, and in third place is second in points Matt Quick. So you got some of the top points leaders all right together. Raymond Rittenauer in that mix as well. Dale Willoughby. So as I say, you can see all the heavy hitters here starting up front this evening. Then you have Eric Laurie in 6th, Bud Steele 7th, Jack Walls in 8th. And then 9th through 16th, there you see Corey Lane, Mark Brown, Dude Conrad, Brendan Pasalacqua, Charles Johnson, Michael Spell, Eugene Vernon, and Todd Merkel. And you see some of the final qualifiers here. You see Chad Wilkes, Robbie Richards, Mitchell Wilkes, Paul Patterson, Eric Schaus, Gabe Butler. Those are the last drivers that put down a qualifying time. Everybody else from 23rd on back is going to go ahead and get sorted by the grid, just by iRacing. So you see Evan Pienta there, Kevin Hash. Then you got Dalton Hayes, Dwight Plush, Jim Brooks, and John Brill. So we got 28 drivers, it looks like, going to take the grid for this evening's race, as the pace car's just rolling off now. Say a few names I'm a little surprised to see in the back here. Say maybe just different strategies, or maybe they didn't make the grid in time. Namely being Gabe Butler, Kevin Hash. So they usually see those two towards the front in qualifying. So I'm curious to see what they're going to have in store for them tonight. And actually, it looks like a couple of drivers here are going to start from the pits as well. So I think there's something going on here. So you see the one to Gabe Butler, he's sitting there in the pits. The 87 Raymond Rittenauer, I believe, is in the pits as well. Dude Conrad, or actually they're not even, I'm not sure if they're in the server at the moment, but 03 though, Kevin Hash, he's in the pits as well, as is the one. So kind of a development here right off the bat here. There is the 8 actually in the pits as well. So kind of got a handful of them here going to start from the pits this evening. So we'll have to see what's going to be going on there. However, though, up front, though, again, going to be the kind of the normal group here, though, up front. So we'll have to see how this how this plays an outcome in this race.
Yeah, it's almost like a carbon copy. Every week you can just flip the page and it's the same people, same lineup almost.
Yeah, as you can see already, Logan trying to save that fuel right off the bat here. I'm not sure what's going on for the drivers there starting in the pits. So right now I see 3 sitting in the pits. I'll see if Raymond joins them as well, but if they can get hooked together here, we know those drivers work really well together, so I think they'd be in pretty good shape. So we'll just kind of wait and see on that one. However, the pace car is just ducking off right now, as you can see. He's going to put it into the hands of that 6-3 and the 25. And green flag is out, and we are underway. Scheduled 75 laps here at Daytona.
Robbie Richards drops to the bottom line right away.
Yeah, so I think you're going to see drivers want to get to that bottom as quick as possible. We'll see if that 25 of Kevin Freese can get down there. Right now, he's pretty much pinned up top here, waiting for some help, which I believe is going to be Eric Lorry's going to be the first one to get to him there in the number 25. But yeah, I'd say, yeah, here come those drivers that started from the pits. I say, again, those the 87, the 8, the 1, and the 03. So it looks like they're going to all try to get grouped together here. And I feel like those 4 could actually work really well together here and stay on this lead lap. Of course, they're going to be waiting and hoping for a caution early on.
Yeah, who knows? I know there's some trouble getting into the server, or maybe they're just trying to play the safety route and stay way back in the back and try to keep out of trouble.
Yeah, you never know. I was all worried about Kevin Freese there falling back. However, he gets a big push there from Eric Lorry. He gets the lead there on that first lap. So, unfortunately, though, for Logan Hilton, not going to get a lap lead yet. Of course, though, long ways to go in this race. See Jack Walls there right behind him in the outside row as these drivers go through the backstretch for the second time.
That's not a bad idea for Logan. I mean, I know he probably wants those bonus points, but you can save that gas being there right there in second place.
Yeah, so it stings a little more, though, I feel like, when it's your championship competitor right there who's the one leading the way. But there he goes. He's able to actually push Kevin to the front, and that's actually going to then open up the door, and he's going to get that push now from that 071 as they cross the line. Give it still to Kevin that time around. But I think you're going to see this momentum probably from the top side here as they enter turn number 1. You see Chad Wilkes there just put down the fastest lap of the race so far. I'm sure we're going to see that number drop as this run progresses, though. Right now, they're still holding pretty much steady here, 2x2. Not as much of a gain on the top side as I thought we would see for Logan, but it looks like he's just starting to eke ahead a little bit. Saying that critical juncture is going to be here coming off of 4. If he can get that momentum that he needs from that push from behind by Eric Lorry, I think that's going to be enough to get him this lap lead. So we'll wait and see as they come to the line. Again, they're going to be door to door here, and I think, yeah, that time by Logan is going to get the lap lead, so that'll also give him another bonus point there, which is obviously critical for his try to climb back up into the points here.
And I jumped back just to see what that pack that started in the pits is doing. They're just staying in line. They're all teammates. You got Gabe, you got Ray, Dude Conrad, and Kevin Hash, and they're just lined up, just playing it safe. It looks like I'm sure they're not too worried about it.
Yeah, so I'm watching their lap times as well. They're running pretty much similar lap times to leaders, maybe about a tenth slower that last time around, 44.7 to leaders 44.6. So definitely not in too bad of shape right now as the leaders are all still running here 2x2. And like you said, I mean, these guys know how to race with each other week in, week out, draft well together and everything like that. So I think at this point they're just going to kind of try to minimize the damage, stay on the lead lap until pit stop time comes or until the first yellow, and then kind of see how things look from there. But yeah, so right now we've got the whole group here pretty much, I believe, all in this lead draft right now. I think the caboose in the train is that number 76 of Jim Brooks. He's just kind of cruise control here, staying in the draft, probably saving some fuel as well there.
That's his normal strategy, and just trying to look out for the big one, and then you'll see him up front by the end of the race.
Yeah, so the critical part, of course, if we get those green flag pit stops, is going to be that quick in and out lap. That's going to be really what kind of makes or breaks people's races here. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on for sure. I say, and again, not much change so far in this race. One that has made a pretty good charge here is Eric Schau. Normally the 72 is the 722 tonight. Started 21st though, up to 13. So he's made some pretty good gains here. But right now, kind of just stuck right now in this 200 mile an hour pacing run right here at Daytona.
So far, everybody seems like they're pretty much behaving, just running, side by side, keeping it too wide, and see how far they can go.
Yes, I think this is kind of that let things settle in, let the race kind of unfold, and then from there start seeing how things pan out. But I think what we'll see is we'll start seeing that aggression pick up as we get closer to that lap 25 mark. That'll be really where the drivers start trying to make something happen to either get the track position they want to get before the pit stops, or of course those that are on the top side, I'm sure they're going to want to try to drop to the bottom and kind of play it safe there as well. But yeah, like I said, right now everybody's running pretty much 2x2. So we'll jump around the field a little bit so we can catch maybe some people want to see some of their drivers on the race right there. One we haven't talked about yet is that 68 of Mark Brown right now, showing in around the 7th position. He's in that top line right behind the 83 of Jack Walls. Mark's been having some pretty good runs here lately, just trying to get that lucky break that he needs to try to pull things through and get a win. Right behind him, that 23 of Brandon Pasalacqua in that black and white Miller Lite machine. Same thing for him, right around 12th. Started 12th, running right about 11, so not much of a change there so far. So let's see if we can find the family members here. Looks like they're a little bit split up right now. That's 71 of Mitchell Wilkes. He's been helping out his son Chad Wilkes in the Thursday series, and also some of the other ones like the Wednesday, the Superspeedway, or sorry, no, the 87 Cup cars. That's what I'm looking for. He's been helping him out with some of those series, and so let's say now he's able to join the track though with his son. So again, let's say obviously a little bit of bias on my end, but I always love seeing have family members be able to race with each other and help each other out. It's a fun to say, especially with everything going on right now. As they still get to kind of spend time with them in a different sense, if you will.
Absolutely, and it's not bad to have old Chad as your running partner there.
Yeah, Chad has a habit of running pretty decently in these races here with Area 51, so definitely a good one to have to kind of keep things in check and get some advice from as well. So it sounds like in those other series where Dad's the crew chief, he definitely runs some field numbers. Oh, I see Charles Johnson there, drops the apron. Oh, we got trouble, I think, in back there. Yeah, Todd Merkel. I think so far it stays green. I think everybody's able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Oh, 76 of Jim Brooks, the banking.
He saved it off the wall.
Just trying to get the power back down. Yeah, that banking just really threw him off. Somehow we stay green. It's going to really hurt a lot of these drivers, though, like Jim Brooks there. Dalton Hayes also is affected by that one. I think, there's the 26 slowed up as well. Paul Patterson. I think that may have been Evan Pienta. Yeah, Evan Pienta as well. He has some damage, actually, to that machine. And then we of course saw the 81 of Todd Merkel. So as I said, now the caution is out. Not sure if there's another event, or that may have been an admin thrown caution just because of maybe iRacing didn't catch it well, I'll say so. So we are under yellow here. Looks like Logan Helton has a lead here at the yellow. So let's go ahead and see what happened for that incident, and we'll see if there was something else that brought this yellow out, but let's take a look. I think it started right around here with that 28 of Charles Johnson. Oh yeah, he had to get to the apron, it looks like, not to get into the back of Eric Schaus. And I think from there things just kind of stacked up. You see the 001 there on the apron as well. Oh, Todd Merkel also, he's down pretty low here. And that's where the initial contact begins. And then unfortunately Evan Pienta, just nowhere for him to go. And that's where they started from there. Just kind of it's on from there. Just get loose there, and yeah, contact between the 81 and the 90, and then you'll see some of the other drivers here unfortunately just have nowhere to go. And then just to add worse for Evan Pienta, gets more damage there, getting hit there by the 90. John Brill just trying to hang on to that car. And then we saw the 47 and the 76. 76 just when you're going that slow. Oh man, I don't know. He did keep it off the wall. It's a really good heads up driving there by that 76 to Jim Brooks, but and I think we may have just seen some strategy. I'm not sure, but I think around the time that caution came out, that second group, Raymond Rittenauer and company, I'm gonna watch them right here. So it looks like they're all. No, they stayed out that time. I don't know if maybe they pitted before the pits were open or something. I saw him just come out there and cycle through ahead of the leaders. So we'll wait and see how that all cycles through. But looks like, though, Logan Helton's going to hang on to the lead. So say we are under yellow, so it should be a pretty quick yellow. So we'll let things cycle through here for a lap or so, and then we'll rejoin the field on the 1 to go. Alright, lights are back off of the pace car. Everybody made pit stops there. Had a couple top off on the 1 to go. However, so that was the break I feel like that we were talking about earlier with Raymond and Kevin, Gabe, and Dude that they were hoping for. So that keeps them now, gets them right back into the mix in the main draft as well. So we'll see what they've got going for them here. However, though, up front we still have that 63 of Logan Helton's going to lead the way on this restart. Matt Quick in second. Then you got Kevin Freeze and Jack Walls. And Dale Willoughby is going to round out our top 5. Yeah, it sounds like the last wreck was a bit of an accordion effect, a little bit in front of Charles. That was the reaction you saw with him going to the apron. So, unfortunate, but everybody's still on the lead lap. So, I'm able to still be after it here. You never know how it's going to end. We are underway again. See Logan Helton there on the inside. You got Matt Quick on the outside. Now it's just all about who can get that initial push here on the start. But I think, again, shorter distance and still getting up to speed, I think we'll see that 63 have a good run through 1 and 2. But that being said, though, you see both those second cars in line, though, are working really hard together here.
Yeah, it looks like Logan got his lead a lap bonus points there, so that helps him a little bit.
Yeah, so those laps led are definitely going to be helpful. So he obviously gets the 1 for leading a lap. Of course, then you also want to be able to try to lead the most laps to get a bonus point there as well. And then obviously it's you kind of out of your control here, but if you can have 0 instead of points, there's some bonus points involved in there as well. So it's going to be one of those races where you probably try to get maximum points. As we see Kevin Freeze, I'm curious to see, it looked like he was thinking about popping out there, but he's going to stay tucked in line. But I think we'll see at 25 if he gets the opportunity. I think we're going to see him pop out in front of Matt Quick here off of 2 possibly. Well, so far staying in line here, so they stay nose to tail through the backstretch. That's going to keep the lead here with Logan Helton. Again, on the fuel side of things, again, that window's roughly around 25 laps, so driver's still going to need 2 more stops to make it to the end. They'll need a little less fuel, of course, so that's going to be where the strategy comes into play here. if maybe they kind of split it in half or something. But as I said, here comes Kevin Freeze now to the top side. He's going to get that run on the 63. So now we'll see Kevin here fight for the lead as they come into turn number 1.
Curious what happened to John Brill. He's missing the front end and the rear. I don't know if he just didn't get into the pits or if he just didn't want to use a fast repair right off the bat.
Yeah, you're right. I'm seeing him way off the pace there, and yeah, sure enough, he's still missing that front clip of the car. So I'm not sure on that one. Maybe he doesn't realize how bad the front damage was on the car. Let's say there's always that chance where, say, if you don't see the hood popped up, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm good. But it's a unfortunate whole the front bumper section's missing. So yeah, John's gonna definitely be hoping for a yellow here to get back into the mix, because right now that car's going about five seconds a lap slower than these leaders here. And it looks like, yeah, I think there's maybe some sandbagging, if you will, going on. So you see Raymond Rittenauer and then that group there, Kevin Hash, Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad. They're still kind of just cruising out here by themselves. You see the gaps between the four of us. There's actually a little bit of gap between the two groups as well. So Dude's gonna have to try to push Gabe back up into this mix, because right now they're a little bit behind Kevin Hash and Raymond Rittenauer there. But we saw that last time around, though. Raymond did put down the fastest lap of the race because he's just kind of right on that tail end of the draft, and you can get some pretty big head of steam there doing that.
Yeah, they must be going for that biggest mover award.
Yeah, so, and as I say that, now the one of Gabe Butler, he gets the fastest lap of the race with the 43.720. So yeah, so that'll at least get him back to the group here. I say, so they want to go at risk of losing the draft, I feel like. Say up front, still running pretty much 2x2. Yeah, I'm curious to see if maybe that's what they're going after, because I mean Raymond did officially start the race in fourth despite starting from the pits. However, like you said, though, Kevin and Gabe started 24th and 22nd respectively. So yeah, so they've definitely have the opportunity to make some big gains here in the race.
I think Bud's trying to throw me off this week, changing his paint scheme to a red and white car.
Yeah, that 6 car, I say he threw someone else off too. He's like, oh, that's I can't remember. I think it was on the Thursday race. As I say, as Gabe goes even faster now, it's a 43.660. But yeah, we thought there was a wreck that was involving someone else, and it was like, oh no, it's a different paint scheme for Bud there. So yeah, he's thrown us off a little bit. So we're used to that kind of that blue and white machine, but he's brought the red out here. Right.
So far, so good. Still running side by side here.
Yeah, so things are kind of calm. That third group there, not third group, but those third cars in line there, Michael Spell, Jack Walls, they kind of rolled off the back of those front 2 cars just a little bit. Looks like they're starting to close the gap back up again, though. But I think it's the same thing. I think they're just kind of letting things cycle through here. I think that seems to be that's kind of the mindset for these drivers tonight, is just that they're gonna kind of let the race kind of unfold as best they can here. So it looks like there's definitely, especially in this mid-pack, there's not a lot of aggression going on so far.
I haven't seen a whole lot of moving tonight yet.
Yeah, it's also a little harder to do here at Daytona. Obviously, Talladega, you got that third line where you can easily make things happen. But yeah, right now though, these drivers are kind of just looks like in cruise control. I just saw John Brill is in the pits. I'm gonna think we're gonna see him get that fast repair done. Actually, no, but as I said, he's just driving through the pits. I think he just wanted to get out of the way of the leaders there. So yeah, so John's gonna get back out on track.
It looks like Rachel's trying to watch the race, sneak a little peek while she's at work tonight. So welcome, Rachel. Eric's doing pretty good. He got caught up in, I think he wasn't caught up in the wreck, so he's doing well. And I'm sure he'll be up front by the end of the race.
Yes, I just noticed that my chat isn't working for my Facebook one. Let me try to fix that real quick while we're going here. But yes, I hope you're doing well. So I'm sure you're keeping very busy over there. So focus on the patients first. But no, definitely hope you're having a good Sunday evening. I say so that might be why Eric's in the race this evening. It's like, well, the wife isn't home, so I've got some free time.
Right.
So So right now Eric is showing in the 15th spot. Started 21st, so he's definitely had a bit of a net gain so far. But again, a long ways to go here. So some drivers we haven't really mentioned yet. Robbie Richards in the 12. He's right up there as well. So he's in that kind of a similar paint scheme really to Bud Steel, just maybe black roof, I should say, compared to Bud's white roof. But yeah, Robbie right now in 11th, starting 18th. As I saw Bud there, looks like they're starting to stack up a little bit there on the inside line. Alright, now I think I got all the chat things showing up. That way I'll be able to see the messages coming in. Yeah, so thanks, Roy, for catching that one. I say I would have missed it otherwise. Up front, though, actually, I say while we were watching all that, Dale Willoughby's now got up into the lead. He's now dropped down into inside line right in front of Logan Helton. And you got Kevin Freeze now leading the top with that 071 up Eric Laurie right behind him. So right now these are pretty much the top 5 here. Matt Quick on the inside going to be part of that fight as well. And again, these are some of the points leaders up front here. That 25, the 89. I think the 7's up there in points as well, as we saw that during qualifying. So these guys, again, that's kind of what they've been doing. They kind of just roll up front here and kind of just control the race and just really do a really great job of their pit stops, getting on and off pit road quickly.
Looks like Jack had been riding the high line for most of it, and it looks like he finally dropped down to the bottom. See if he can get that to work, or just wants to kind of stay down there and wait for that pit stop to come up.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because we're only probably about 10 laps away from, if you stretch it all the way, to making that pit stop. I say again, lap 50 is going to be that magic number to be able to pit and then make it on one more stop. So that might be some of the strategy. Maybe we'll see some people kind of short pit on the first one. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. I say the other thing is for Jack is he's kind of in that group that he's familiar with running with. You see, you got Bud in front of him, Charles behind him, Michael behind there as well. So kind of that team admin, if you will, that group that they've been working pretty well with, especially in the Indy and Dover, finishing, I believe, in the top 5 positions. So I think you're even part of that mix there, Roy.
I was. Shocker.
So I say, because we talked about some of the teammates here on the Superspeedway series working well together. So you guys were able to get that done at Dover with the Indy cars. So it kind of goes to show. I mean, if you can get that group together, work well together, I mean, it really pays off in the long run.
Absolutely, and a little luck doesn't help either. Or I'm sorry, helps a little bit also.
Yeah, luck usually always plays a pretty big role in these ones. So yeah, definitely not wrong on that one. Still up front though is Dale Willoughby. Was able to finally break through with some, kind of break the monkey off his back, if you will, getting a win here. I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so you see him back up front here running well again. I'll say that's one of those things too. I feel like, Roy, is like when you finally get that weight off your shoulders, it seems like you can really kind of go after it, and it's almost like just less pressure, and you can just perform better just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no pressure. You just go out there and run and hopefully stay out of trouble. And you know, these guys, they run up front all the time, so I'm sure it's even more relaxing once you get that win. Yeah,
exactly. One driver we mentioned, it was in that earlier incident, Evan Pienta. It looks like he did use a faster pair there in the main group as well. Actually, pretty fitting paint scheme. I say it's pretty popular game right now, is that Fall Guys game. So I've got some friends who have it. I picked up for my wife as well. My daughter, I don't think she understands the concept of it very well, but she's loving it as well. So
we got a wreck coming.
I see the smoke.
Corey. Yeah, I'm not sure. Early guess is that Corey went up and kind of scrubbed the wall there, so we'll have to double check.
Yeah, I saw Jack was involved. Yeah, I see Corey had a lot of damage to that number 10 car. He's trying to get out of the grass. Let's go back and see what happened to that number 10 machine. Oh, this looks like that is the 68. Oh, Corey's actually going to try to be a little helper there, try to push the 68 off the banking a little bit to see if he can help him get unstuck there. Not sure if it worked, unfortunately, or not. But I'll say it's a nice move. I say both those cars had a lot of damage already, so it's like, well, we might as well.
Yeah, and Eric had the same problem. He was stuck, and he took a tow right away.
Alright, I think it may have started right around Eric Laurie here, entering turn number 1. I'll say try to get a better angle here. You see him jump to the top. Oh, he actually gets up into the wall there, and then, yeah, just nothing the 10 can do. And, oh, most of the field here, you see the 63 heavy contact. The 83 looks like a couple may have snuck through, but I say this is definitely a big one here as we're watching the 10 go up and over here as well. So there's going to be a lot of faster pairs, a lot of toes it looks like as well from this incident. So yeah, so very unfortunate for some of these guys, and may have actually, well, oh, you see the 81 and 76 try to sneak through there, but unfortunately it looks like their path gets blocked. I'll say a couple cars I want to try to keep an eye on, those ones that are kind of cruising in the back. Actually, I see one right there. Kevin Hash goes through the grass, looks like to avoid it. But yeah, so we got a lot of cars with damage here, unfortunately. Let's see.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
Actually, dude, Conrad.
Sorry, I'll have to apologize to Corey. First thing I saw was him wrecking, but I guess it was in front of him.
I'll say we'll show the good sportsmanship here. Corey trying to give that 68 of Mark Brown, trying to get him unhooked from the banking there, but gave him a shot, just wasn't enough. Apparently, too much damage for that number 68 machine. So yeah, we have all the leaders here in the pits at the moment. So starting off with Kevin Freeze, who's coming out of the pits right now. Yeah, so that's going to put us under yellow again. We're going to see a lot of faster pairs. It looks like, actually, it looks like unfortunately Evan Pienta may have retired there from the event. We'll have to kind of wait and see that. We'll see if he maybe sneaks back in or not. But yeah, Eric Schaus, though, Mark Brown, they both had to take tows in their car, so they're still waiting to kind of get towed and get back on track. See the 722 there. 68 a little further up in pit road. Yeah, that car's got some pretty heavy suspension damage, so I think that's why Mark couldn't go anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unlucky for a lot of those cars.
So it looks like Kevin Freeze is going to hold serve. He'll stay up in front as a race leader. And actually, even with that incident here, if I'm not mistaken, I see Logan Helton still hold on in this third position. So I don't know how he's able to pull that off, but hats off to him for being able to get that car pointed back in the right direction, use a faster pair, and still stay up right here in the mix. You see Raymond Rittenauer, he's now up into that top 4 positions. I think he was able to sneak by that wreck. So he's now up front here as well. So we'll see. I think we might get the one to go already this time around. So if we do, we'll stay here. If however the lights stay on, we'll step away for just a moment, let's take a breath, get a drink of water before we do this all again here. So let's wait and see as they come through the line. And yep, sure enough, one to go.
We'll have to see if that team of Gabe Butler and them, if they decide, okay, that's enough of that, we're going to go to the front now.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see, because yeah, there is only one more pit stop to make it to the end here on fuel. Still showing a few cars in the pits. Looks like they're coming out now. Looks like the one of Gabe Butler, he went ahead and topped off, so he's going to still be towards the back, unfortunately. Right now showing Eric Laurie, John Burley, I believe are going to be two drivers, 1 lap down, and then we're going to have Eric Schaus, Mark Brown, 2 laps down. I want to see, I'm hoping to see, there we go, yeah, okay, that 90 car John Burley, it is all fixed up here, so John's going to have full speed again in that number 25, or sorry, in the number 90 machine. However, up front, though, looks like our race leader, this actually seems like everybody's staggered in the wrong order here, as I see the 25 up top. I think usually the leader's on the bottom here, but I also see Logan up top as well, and I think he's in third, or came out of the pits in third, but I may be mistaken. I'll say it's probably just based on where they were at the start finish line, so we'll see what happens here, though. Alright, pace car is in. Wait for that green flag to flag. Kevin Freeze, Dale Willoughby, they're going to get things going. Kevin gets a great start, gets right to the bottom in front of that 7 of Dale Willoughby. So now that 6-3 Logan Helton's hoping he can get a little bit of help behind him, which is going to come in the form of Matt Quick, and I believe that is the 17 of Chad Wilkes. But I say that team, though, is starting to form on the inside line.
Looks like Logan dropped down to the bottom. He just wanted to get a good run. Now he's coming back up.
Yeah, I say Logan's able to find a little slight gap there in front of Raymond for just a split second. Then he saw the momentum, I think, coming from Matt Quick, so he's going to take advantage of that here. So they enter turn number 3, so we have 44 to go. So again, still one more green flag pit stop, hopefully to make. But I say they'll be able to, once they get to 25 to go, they should be able to pretty much make it to the end from there. But right now you see those first 8 cars, so they've kind of broken away from that second group just a little bit. But again, they'll say that draft will bring these guys all right back up into the mix. But right now that inside line is working well.
Got a pretty good split there between like the top 7 here and the next pack. I'm surely they'll get a good run and catch right back up.
Yeah, so it looks like Charles Johnson's leading kind of this little second pack here. Charles showing in 21st. Let's say I think he's definitely close enough. Let's say that car in front of him is there's Paul Patterson. There's one more in there as well. I think that might be Mark Brown, but I think they're close enough. You see Gabe Butler's on the back of that 28 car. So they're definitely going to have to work together here and try to kind of draft their way back up into this fight here to make sure they stay in this lead pack. And I think what may have happened to John Brill earlier to put him towards the back was I noticed he was having some more connectivity issues. So I think he's been falling to the back to make sure if he lags out, he doesn't risk affecting anybody. So it's really unfortunate for John to have that happen. But again, hats off to him though for kind of trying not to affect outcome of anybody's race though as well. Right now, the inside line still pretty much controlling this race. Again, up front, 25 of Kevin Fries, Dale Willoughby right behind him, Raymond Rittenauer in 3rd. Those 3 are teammates. And then up on the top side, you have that 63 of Logan Helton trying to play spoiler here. And then right behind him, you got a couple of those teammates from the inside line as well with Matt Quick and Dude Conrad. So I think they're saving, kind of staying towards the back. I think it looks like that's about over here. However, that second group is definitely not looking too good here. They're going to have to push a little harder. You see that's exactly what Charles is doing with that one of Gabe Butler, saying they're able to clear that group. And so now they're going to try to keep pushing their way towards the front. Right now that gap showing looks like it's about 2 seconds. So they're going to be a little bit hard pressed, I think, to make this, to kind of close this gap now with just the 2 of them.
And it looks like the group behind them are running side by side, so that's not helping too much either. So we'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah, they need to get lined up here and push, kind of pretty much actually probably have to push with each other. Let's say, however, I'm going to keep an eye on the lap times. And that last time around, actually, they were the 2 quickest cars by about a half a second. So I mean, we know Gabe is really good at what he does, and I think he's got him just about to that point where they can pull up into that draft. So if Gabe can push Charles just a little bit more here, I think they're going to get right back into the thick of things. However, I think from that second group, though, as we mentioned with Mitchell Wilkes, Paul Patterson, Dwight Plesh, unfortunately, I think they're going to be losing this draft. And I said they're just too far out now.
Yeah, you got Gabe. I mean, he tucks right up under Charles and pushes him right up in there.
Yeah, say one more lap, they're going to be right there. And speaking of which, I'll say Gabe pushed Charles to the fastest lap of the race, so that 43.475. Gabe ran a 4.77. Leaders ran a 44.3. So they were almost a full second quicker there. So it just shows what that draft and a really good push is able to do. So I was skeptical, but they made it happen. So those 2 are now back into the draft here as we still battle back for the lead as well. Logan Helton starting to finally get up to the side of that 25 of Kevin Fries, is trying to get a little bit more of a push from Matt Quick to kind of get him in that position here to try to take control over. And actually, here comes Eric Schausen at 70.22. He's going to the top side. I wonder if he's trying to get one of these laps back the old-fashioned way, but it looks like he does not have any help at the moment. Maxine, hope you're having a good evening. I say, yeah, right now Logan fighting for the lead. I say that top group's falling back just a little bit. He's showing right now in roughly the third, fourth position here, kind of based on where the push is at any time. But yeah, Logan definitely started from the pole position, has led a lap as well. So he's trying to do everything he can to try to close that points gap down. And the other thing actually I didn't even think about there is the incident points. Unfortunately, a lot of these drivers are going to lose those bonus points for unfortunately being involved in that incident, even if it was of no fault of their own.
Was Logan caught up in any of those?
I think Logan was in that last big one. I think I saw him get hooked there, and then, like I said, I don't know how he's able to get back up and going so quickly, but I was kind of surprised too how fast he was able to stay in that lead pack there, or start to stay in that lead group during that caution pit stop. I think he was involved in it, unfortunately. I think there's just a couple drivers there that actually were able to get away with it.
Looks like that friendship between Charles and Gabe is over now. Charles is like, nope, I'm going up front.
Yeah, well, Charles was finding some of his admin buddies. It looks like you see Michael Spells right there, Jim Brooks as well. However, it looks like Charles is going to try to get around them as well here. So yeah, I think Charles is ready to kind of dice things up. And it looks like actually, I was just noticing the 63 Logan Helton looks like he got stuck to the top there. So he's going to go way back here, unfortunately. So he's working his way back, unfortunately. So he got to the top of 3 wide, and that did not work. I'm not sure if he got shuffled out there. We're kind of checking on Charles there, so he's going to have his work cut out for him to try to get back to the front here. But now you see, though, that 87 Raymond Rittenauer, he's trying to lead the top side. He's got, again, teammate Matt Quick behind him, and the 8 of Dude Conrad. So right now we're going to have these teammates here pretty much all up front, top 5, I think, pretty much all with them. We got the 6 of Bud Steele right there as well. I think I saw the 17 of Chad Wilkes in that mix as well. We mentioned that 722 of Eric Schaus right now showing 2 laps down. Would definitely love to get one of those 2 back here, but it's going to be tough to make that happen here at Daytona.
Yeah, I went back and looked, and looks like Logan barely left that door open, and Matt Quick went ahead and got his nose under and kind of pushed him up a little bit. Lost a groove there, but I'm sure Logan will be right back up there.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's still plenty of time to go. So we have 35 to go right now, 34 at the line. So they still have a pit stop to go as well, which will be the window will open in about 10 laps. And they can go probably about 12 to 13 or so more laps on fuel, I would assume. So to see what the strategy is going to be for some of these guys, but I'll say if we get to that point in the race, that'll definitely mix up the running order. So that's going to be where Logan's going to have to try to capitalize, which we see him, he's gotten back down to that inside line here. Again, he's a ways back. He's right behind that 28 of Charles Johnson, but again, still right in the thick of things. I'd say, and if you look at the intervals, he's only like 0.7 of a second off the lead, as quick as everything goes here at Daytona. So as long as you're in the draft, you never know.
Absolutely. Should really mix up if we actually get a green flag pit stop and see how things turn out.
Yeah, so that's usually where the race changes drastically, so we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. Again, still got a little ways to go until we get to that point. Say one driver we haven't really talked about too much about yet is that number 81 of Todd Merkel, right now showing right in that top 10 position. At this point, I'd say it's probably easier to say who probably wasn't involved in that last incident. I think he was caught up in it as well. However, used that fast repair and is right back into the thick of things as well. So again, that's the kind of the benefits of those fast repairs, is if you are caught up in an incident, whether just kind of bad luck or if you get run over, whatever it is, I'll say at least your race isn't over. You can regroup and go back after it.
Yeah, I don't think he can get another one, though, because I know he was caught up in that first one. So if he was caught up in both, I think he's out of fast repair, so he's going to have to keep it clean the rest of the race.
Yeah, so and that's where that strategy comes into play. If you have 1 or 2 in the bag, you're like, okay, well, I can maybe push a little harder. Say, obviously, doesn't give you the green light to go crazy or anything like that, but at the same time, you definitely feel a little bit more secure. It's like, okay, if something happens, at least I know my race isn't completely over yet. Right now, this inside line is working well. Kevin Freeze there, Dale Willoughby right behind him. They've kind of been able to kind of keep that 87 of Raymond Rittenauer at bay for the moment. Again, Matt Quick, Dude Conrad right behind him. I feel like that 722 of, I kind kind of, oh, he's a little further down. Eric Schaus, I think if he ever saw the gap to try to make a 3-wide move, if he could kind of try to make a charger, I think he would take it. Just unfortunately, so he's not opening up at the moment here. And again, here at Daytona, it's much harder to do, as you see these drivers kind of moving around a little bit here on that backstretch.
Yeah, I was curious. I saw him poke out there. I didn't know if maybe he was just overheating a little bit or not.
I'd say probably a little bit of both. I'd say if the opportunity came up where he could go to the top and try to make a pass, I don't think he would say no to it, though.
Oh, no. Eric won't blink an eye at going 3 wide.
But I say, unfortunately, though, he's going to have help to make it happen. I say it's just one of those things, too, we've talked about before. It's like, if you're 1 down, it's like you have a lot of options, but unfortunately, when you go 2 down, your options become much more limited, unfortunately. As I say that, though, I see Logan Hilton. He's at the top of 3 wide. I think he decided he wanted to try to make a couple moves here, and it's not really working out for him right now. He's to the top there of Michael Spell. But again, just no help at the moment here, so he's going to probably lose that momentum. He'll probably have to fall back behind that number 88 here.
Yeah, not a lot of people will take it 3 wide here.
Yeah, this is definitely a trickier track to do it. I say more often than not, the only time you see it happen is during green flag pit stops, or not green. Sorry, when you're lapping a driver that may be off the pace or something like that. You'll see it happen then. But yeah, it seems like it's usually by necessity. I don't think drivers feel the most comfortable because again, you definitely have to be a fair bit squeezed to do it, especially here in iRacing. There's always that little bit of net code and things like that. And it's not always as perfect as you'd hope it would be. So right now, though, Logan's still right behind Michael Spell. He's in the 15th position roughly. Again, he's trying to find a way to see if he can work his way back up front. But I think right now he's going to have to kind of just hold steady. I think his goal here is going to need to be that pit stop and see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, I'm curious if Logan will try to pit with Charles Johnson in that team, or if he'll try to pit with the leaders. Either way, you're going to be in good hands probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, the people you pit with definitely comes into play with these races. You have to be extremely, obviously, you have to really have a lot of trust with the drivers around you, first off, because you have to make sure you don't get run over or anything like that. But as I say that, Eric Schaus, he's decided to say that 3 wide line looked tempting too much for him. He said, I'm going for it, and nobody wanted to go with him, so he's going to lose another spot here. Close between him and Robbie Richards, yeah.
Oh, and he tagged the wall. Now he's back in line.
Yeah, he was able to get. That was a close call, though, there. As you see, though, I mean, that top line is definitely moving around a little bit, and I think that's where that opening came about, where they saw that back up just a little bit. However, what that has done, though, is it's kind of slowed the top line out a little bit, and I see Logan Helton here. Looks like he might be thinking about trying to see if he can make that momentum now, work on the middle groove here. So he can get all the way up behind I believe it's the 23 of Brandon Pasalacqua, which is Brandon right now showing right around that top 10 position. So he could definitely get a few spots here on track. He's just going to have to still work his way around some of these drivers like you see there.
We got a wreck in the front.
Yeah, I see him slowing down there. Looks like some of our leaders there. Yeah, I see Raymond Rittenauer. I see Jim Brooks locking it down, trying to keep off of him. Saw the 89 in there as well, Matt Quick. Looks like a little bit of right front damage to his car. I see it looks like Michael Spell may have taken the pit road to avoid that. Yeah, Jack Walls as well. So good heads up by them, just going through the pits to make sure they didn't get involved in that one. So let's go see what happened, and this is going to be right at that pit number. So this is, I think they'll be able to all make it to the end from here, but yeah, that's going to definitely shake things up again. Alright, let's see if we can take a... it looks like the 6 of Bud Steele will take a better look there. Looked like he just touched the apron a little bit, and you can see it kind of make the car step out a little bit here. So you get a better angle here. You can see he's right at that yellow line. As soon as he touches that yellow line, you see the lefts just get on it, and you can see the car start to wobble a little bit, unfortunately, and then washes up into that 87 of Raymond right now. Nothing Raymond can do. That's going to send him up and around. And you see Matt Quick there behind him, Dude Conrad, nothing that they can do as well. And there, you see Jack Walls go straight to the apron here, trying to get around it. So I'm watching actually the 17 and the 81. Oh man, great driving by the two, by Chad Wilkes there, and Jack Walls able to avoid that. And then yeah, Todd Merkel actually able to get by that one as well. So Some good heads up by some of these drivers here in this incident there. So others obviously have a little bit of damage, but I think for the most part, I think they're going to be able to get away with it. But definitely going to be some more fast repairs. Though you see Raymond, he's got some pretty decent back end damage to that machine as well.
I assume he still has some fast repairs, because I don't think he was caught up in any of the other wrecks. Possibly, maybe that or the one before this. So he might be okay. It's just a long way back to the front, though.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's actually going to hurt a few of those drivers that did a good job avoiding the incident as well. So they're going to be towards the back here with that whole situation. And actually, I say one driver I did not. So I'm trying to see where Logan came out with that. We were kind of talking about him when that wreck happened. I don't know if he got through it or not. Let's take a look real quick and see if Logan's able to sneak by that one as well. Looks like he was, based on what I was looking at there. So it looks like, yeah, it was like he was actually just far enough away where kind of the seas just kind of parted for him. You see Eric Schaus actually makes a really nice move as well. It's pretty much the whole inside line got bottled up there. But then everybody on back there, you see the one, Gabe Butler, it looks like he got through nice and clean. The 10, Corey Lane. Yeah,
looks like Todd Merkel got through there.
Yeah, Todd.
That. No, yeah, that was some good driving.
It was, yeah, him. It was Todd and Jack Walls and Chad Wilkes. They all really good hands by those drivers not to get into each other there from all that. And you see that 70-22 of Eric Schaus. He's staying out here. His goal here is he's going to be hoping for a quick yellow because he's going to have to pit in just a few laps. What he's going to do here is get the wave around, which will put him just one lap down and be the only car lap down. And then should something happen, that would put him back on the lead lap. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. That last caution did put the 90 of John Brill back on the lead lap. So John's is going to be back in the mix here as well. But up front, though, it's going to be now Kevin Freeze on the inside, Dale Willoughby on his outside. And you got Dude Conrad. Yeah, there is Logan Helton in fourth. And then I believe in fifth is Bud Steele. Yes, there he is. Chad Wilkes is right there as well. So I'll say as a whole, some of these drivers didn't lose too much. I mean, Raymond's not where he wants to be, but he's still right there in the top 10 in the 9th position. So I say definitely can't count Raymond out there, especially he's actually right behind Gabe Butler as well. And we know how well those two work together.
Absolutely.
So I think we're going to see business pick up here again. Fuel-wise, I think everybody's going to be good to the scheduled distance. The question now, of course, is should any yellows occur, especially if they let's say they go green to about 2 to go and then a yellow comes out. That's where these drivers are going to be sweating bullets because they say that's going to be put them pretty much right on the edge of their fuel, if not even a little bit over. We had a few drivers top off there. It looks like Jack Walls, Michael Spell did, John Brill did as well, which was that's a perfect idea for him. Looks like it's actually I think Eric Schaus may have been able to sneak in the pits there with that wave around too. We'll see how that pans out. The problem for him though right now is going to be that he is not going to be able to catch up to the lead pack here, so he's going to be out by himself there. But we'll see what happens. The pace car is in. Going to put it into the hands of Kevin Freeze on the inside. Dale will be on the outside. Dale getting a big shot right away from Logan Helton. So we'll see how things go here as they enter turn number 1. It's like pretty even here through the back. You see Logan all over the back of that number 7 of Dale Willoughby, literally pushing him through the backstretch. Looks like he thought about peeking to the top side. Looked like Chad Wilkes was going to go with him if he did. However, he's going to drop back in line and stay behind that number 7 for now. Again, still pretty much a full fuel run here to the end. So say it's still a lot of time, a lot of things that can happen, but I keep seeing Logan peak just a little bit again. Some of that might be to try to keep those temperatures cool in that number 63 car. I'm sure also there's definitely some temptation there to try to get to the front here and try to push that 7 out to the front, see if maybe he can get him to go to the bottom side and then have Logan take over that top side. Saying, Tammy, thank you for watching. Hope you're doing well. Also, yeah, like I said, oh, saw Bud there with a little bit of wiggle. But yeah, see, you see Logan still right in the thick of things here. Right now, fighting for the lead here, just trying to push that number 7 to the front. Just hasn't quite been able to do that yet. But as you can see though, on the inside line, you've got dude. Oh, as I say, that contact between.
Oh, no.
We got a big wreck here. A lot of cars involved. So this is definitely another big one there. I see the 7 of Dale Willoughby was involved. To say that may have been some aggressive pushing that may have caused it. I say you see the 7 is definitely heavily involved there. The 1 of Gabe Butler is involved as well. Can't tell if Raymond Rittenauer looks like he may have gotten away with it. I just saw Brendan Pasalacqua involved in that one as well. So unfortunately, again, a lot of heavy damage to some of these cars. I see the 17 of Chad Wilkes. Looks like he's may have blown an engine there. He's going to have to take a tow. All right, let's see what happens. It looks like, I think it's from where I was sitting, it looked like just some really aggressive driving, but we'll have to kind of get a better look at it here because that took out a lot of cars. So coming through the trial over here. Oh, you see the 8 actually looks like, oh yeah, dude, Conrad just slipped up just a little too high there, got into the back or the left rear of Dale Willoughby. Nothing Dale can do there. He tries to save it there, but unfortunately, say that's just, we're going to hook him back to the right when he tries to get that wheel corrected again. And say just unfortunate for Logan, nowhere he can go. And you're going to see that whole field stack up right behind him with that 17 as well. So see if we can get a better shot here. Oh yeah, you see the 1, the 63, the 12, the 87, the 17. I think Todd Merkel again gets through. Well, I'm not going to speak too soon as I see the 6 of Bud Steele starting to slide across the track here. We'll keep an eye on what Todd's able to do. He's watching that 6 car, trying to figure out where he's going to go. And I spoke too soon. Looks like Todd's going to get a little bit of damage to that car. And, oh yeah, actually that sends him right into Brandon Pasalacqua. It looked like all was going to be clear for him. Then he got a little bit of damage. So definitely not as bad as it could have been. I think Matt Quick may have snuck through for the most part. I think I saw Jim Brooks get by there. He did. Oh, let's go back. So actually, you got the 89 and the 81 here getting some pretty good airtime on the Daytona road course bumps here. So both those guys go up in the air there and able to hang on to it though. But yeah, these cars are not supposed to be off-roaders here. So yeah, it's, again, puts us back under yellows. Mike Matt is in. A few of the leaders stayed out. Looks like the top 5 stayed out, looks like. So you've got now, again, a little bit of new cast of characters here. Kevin Freeze will still be out front. Then you got the 8 of Dude Conrad is able to sneak through that and stay on the lead lap and in the mix here as well. However, you mentioned that a little earlier there, Roy. Jim Brooks now up into 3rd. And right behind Jim is that 44 of Dwight Plush. And then that 03 of Kevin Hash. They're going to be our top 5. Those drivers did not pit under this yellow. They're going to hang on to this track position. Everybody from there on back looks like starting with Matt Quick. Will be in 6th place, and I say everybody from Matt on back went ahead and made a pit stop here, and it looks like fuel only for Matt and just a fast repair. I say trying to keep an eye on that 63. Oh, something actually happened to Logan there. Hold on, let's say he was on his side.
Yeah, I heard them talking with Robbie Richards, but I wasn't quite sure what happened.
Yeah, and plus I say Logan has a lot of damage. He drops to the bottom here. Oh my goodness, Robbie just hits him with a huge head of steam there. Yeah, unfortunately, I said looks like it broke the motor for Robbie, and then Logan unfortunately tried to do everything he could to get back on his wheels. You can see him working the steering wheel and the throttle, trying to get the car to flip back over. Just wasn't able to do it, so he actually is going to have to take a tow, and so that's going to knock him down a lap, I believe. So that's oh man, that's a night going from bad to worse there.
So was Eric caught up in that wreck, or is he the lucky dog on this one?
Let's find that 722 of Eric Schaus. He's still showing us 1 lap down for me, so I'm a little confused. Because yeah, I think he was definitely not involved in it. So he was so far back, so I'm a little confused. Yeah, why he's still showing as 1 down. Looks like he's having to let the field on by as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but right now that 722 is showing as 1 lap down still. That's a good question, right? I'm not sure.
Maybe it'll once they come across the start finish, unless this is green flag here.
Yeah, we're on the 1 to green now, so I'm a little confused myself on that one. I've assumed it would have been him there. So I'm trying to see, because right now, yeah, he's showing as the only driver 1 lap down. I see Todd Merkel. He had a really long pit stop trying to get that damage fixed. I think you were right there. I think Todd was probably out of fast repairs, so he's trying to get that damage fixed manually. And let's see. It looks like everybody else, for the most part, here. Yeah, I think everybody else pretty much took fast repairs on these stops. So, yeah. So say we're going to restart though with 17 to go. Looks like 20 cars on the lead lap. Eric's still being shown as the only car 1 lap down at the moment. We'll see if Logan's able to get back going. But again, unfortunately right now for him, we're going green here. So even if he gets out of the pits right now, I say he's going to go a 2nd lap down right away. So that's just unfortunate. That's just bad luck right there. Alright, so field is taking the green. We are back underway. See a 76 of Jim Brooks behind that 25 of Kevin Fries. On the outside lane, you got the 44 of Dwight Plush behind the 8 of Dude Conrad. And it looks like right now that inside line's definitely got the momentum. You see Kevin Hash joining that mix as well. You see Matt Quick still in that mix here. Also see the 83 of Jack Walls. So it looks like they're all trying to start getting formed here as they come through turns 1 and 2. Back down the backstretch with 17 to go.
Kind of been a strange race. I mean, usually those wrecks happen mid-pack or further back, but it seems like a lot of these have been happening at the front.
Yeah, these last couple of incidents have been right up at the very front of the field here, and it's really messed things up here. So actually we got 3 wide here. Oh, here comes Logan Helton. Actually is back on track. I think trying to see if this is going to put him 2 or 3 down as they pass him here. I'll try to keep an eye at the line. Let's see. Looks like 2 down for the moment. Yeah, I think he'll be 2 down, but he's going to try to see if he can get back in line here and try to get into the draft here. So obviously the only thing is a close call there with him and the 001. Looks like he's going to keep it straight, but again, it's just bad luck there for Logan tonight. As they doing everything right there, just hasn't gone to plan though. Oh, so we got 3 wide here for the lead. Yeah, Kevin Fries on the inside. I believe that's Dude Conrad in the middle. Dwight Plush to the top there. Dwight, unfortunately, looks like he's going to get shuffled out here. Saying he's going to have to be careful trying to get back to the middle groove here. You think he might be able to squeeze in there right in front of that 10. He does for the moment, so he looks like he's kind of being a little tentative about. There he goes. He's in there. So it doesn't lose too many spots there. I think that number 10 of Corey Lane was able to help him out a little bit, do him a favor, and let him slide in there. So now you've got the 25 of Kevin Fries on the inside line. On the outside is Dude Conrad. Matt Quick is pushing the top side, and then you got Jim Brooks right there behind that 25 of Kevin Fries.
And like always, that number 76 snuck his way up to the front.
Yeah, he's going to need some help, though, because he's got a lot of teammates surrounding him. You see now the 8 of Dude Conrad leading the way. Kevin Fries in second. I say Jim's right now holding that 3rd position, but he's got Matt Quick to his outside. And then you also see Kevin Hash in 03. It's another one of those team members there. So it's kind of going to be he's going to need to try to get a little bit of help. We'll see if he's able to find any help with any of them. But again, we talked about how well they work together. And right now, though, that inside line is holding pretty strong here. So they still got 14 to go, so still a lot of time for things to happen here. Say my only idea, which it'd be really hard to do because we haven't really seen the inside line get that big of a push. Although now they say you see Dwight there loses connection just a little bit from Matt Quick. If Jim can get enough ahead of that number 89 of Matt Quick, he could slide up in front of him and try to lead this top line, which I think he could do now. He's just barely clear. He could try to lead this top line and then see if he can get the push to the front. But again, if he does that, he's got to make sure he holds that holds the middle really well, because if he gets too high, we've seen that they will not hesitate and they'll definitely move you to the top there and kind of shuffle you out.
Yeah, Matt Quick, that's what happened to Logan earlier. He barely let it open and Matt Quick took it.
Yeah, it looks like right now Jim's content here to ride in that 3rd car on the bottom. I'm going to say definitely can't go anywhere now because Matt is to his outside. You see again though that 44 Dwight Plush just washes up a little bit, but this time I say you see Corey Lane, he's going to jump to the inside of him. So now Dwight's going to probably get shuffled out here towards the back of this lead pack here. Oh, actually, as I say, he's able to sneak right in behind the one of Gabe Butler in front of the 88. So again,
yeah, I was listening to his radio, and he was saying he was getting a little hot, so I think that's why he popped out top there and kind of shoved him back, and maybe Mike let him back in there.
So I'm going to be watching the 03 here. If he can clear, no, it looks like he can't quite do it. I was going to say, I can see Kevin Hash trying to jump to the top, but not quite able to do so. Let's say, I think it's just there's probably too many laps here. I think if we were down to about 3 or 4 to go, I think that's where you would see that 76 of Jim Brooks probably try to pop out and lead that top line. I still think that's going to be the best strategy if you want to try to win this race. But right now, though, that top line's got a big head of steam now with that 10 pushing the 89. So they get next to the 76 as moves Matt up into third. He's trying to see if he can now move up to second and first and fight with that 8 and the 25.
Yeah, the only bad part is, I mean, he's got that 25, and that 25 will probably jump up there also.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk versus reward. To say right now he is in a pretty safe place there in the inside line. Usually towards the end of these races here, I always prefer being on the inside line because usually when these wrecks happen, they kind of wash up to the top. I've been proven wrong before, but more often than not, it seems like those wrecks, if they happen, the wrecks kind of move to the top side, and you can use the bottom obviously and the apron and everything to try to avoid it. So I just feel, for me, it feels like I have more room to adjust if there's an incident in front. So that being said, though, we still have 10 laps to go as we just cross the line there. Again, Dude Conrad leading the way, Kevin Freeze second, Matt Quick in third, and fourth is Jim Brooks and Corey Lane rounding out the top 5. Fortunately, looks like that damage to Raymond Rittner or Todd Merkel. They're both working together, but they're 15 seconds off the lead, so I think both those drivers are not going to be where they need to be this evening. John Burrell, again, still on the lead lap in that number 90. He's showing in the 18th position, right, that last car in that lead draft. Again, I think John just trying to kind of be courteous here with these other drivers. He's had a few connection issues. I've seen the car disappear a couple times. So I think he's just trying to stay out of the way here and still do everything he can to have a good result. But yeah, just doesn't want to be in the mix should something happen to his connection.
I'm trying to remember about 2 weeks ago, I think it was Dell that was about the same position as Jim Brooks. And that opened up, the top line opened up, and he took it, and I think he ended up winning the race.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the move to do. I think whether it's going to be the 76 or the 25, I think at some point you're going to see one of those drivers kind of get that momentum from the inside and get where they can get in front of that 89 of Matt Quick. We know how good of a pusher Matt is. So, he's definitely a good car to have behind you. Then it's just, again, we talked about that teamwork and stuff. It's just, you worry. You wouldn't think they would do anything to hurt your chances of a result, but at the same time, it's like, well, they're not going to want to push a competitor past one of their teammates.
Someone's been kind of quiet tonight is Jack Walls also. Usually see what he does. Usually he's great with fuel strategy, but today really haven't had to worry about fuel strategy tonight with the yellow flags, but I'm curious where he's going to end up.
Yeah, I'd say Jack's going to definitely be one to keep an eye on for sure. So you see him right there in that bright number 83 Pennzoil car. So he always loves bragging about that bright yellow car there. Say right now showing just inside the top 10, showing right around the 8th position. Again, he's also in a pretty decent spot here. Should they start dicing up in front, he might be able to make a couple moves as well. I think as we get closer to the end, you see a couple cars moving around there towards the back there on the backstretch here. But as I say that, actually, here comes Matt Quick getting a big push from that number 10 of Corey Lane. You see Gabe Butler right there in the mix as well. One thing I don't think I really mentioned after you talked about the 44 getting hot and going to the top there, that's one thing you have to be careful about. You want, obviously, the way to go fast is to push these guys as hard as possible. But at some point, you're going to have to let that car breathe. Otherwise, you're going to risk popping your motor, either oil temp, water temp too high. So you do that in front of the field, and we're going to have another big wreck. So next time around, it's going to be 5 to go. So you can see still up front, 2x2 is that number 8 leading the way. Dude Conrad, Kevin Freeze right behind him. Oh, you see Jim Brooks kind of peek up just a little bit, probably trying to get a little bit of air. It looks like Corey Lane trying to do the same as well there. I think now you're going to start seeing. I mean, if I'm that 76, if I was kind of in, let's say, the Mitchell Wilkes, Chad Wilkes crew chief position. If I'm on top of the box, that 76 car, I say, hey, next time you get clear of that 89, if you get the opportunity, jump in front of him, but don't drift up too high. You got to hold that middle, or else he'll take you 3 wide. So that's probably your best chance to win this race.
Yeah, we're getting down to the last couple laps. It's going to get interesting any moment now.
Yeah, the trick now is, of course, if there's enough room to make it happen. You see he's side by side with Matt Quick. Can't do anything yet. Again, still a couple laps to go here. But right now, and we still have to keep an eye also on Kevin Freeze, because, I mean, he has his teammate there, Dude Conrad, leading the way. But at the same time, well, actually, as I said, I'm looking, there's just wasn't quite enough gap there. It looked like Jim may have had the room to jump up there. But then off the turn, though, Matt Quick's able to make the momentum work. So, yeah, it's getting tight, though, right now. And so you're going to see that aggression start picking up a little bit more. The pushes are going to be more aggressive. Probably pushes are going to last longer as we have 4 to go here. But right now, though, you see these lead pack drivers, let's say that 8 and 25 still working well together. So you can see that gap from 76 and 89 just wasn't quite there. It was so close, but not enough. I see that 26.
Looks like should stay green.
Yeah, great driving by Paul Patterson. Keeps it pointing in the right direction. Terrible, though, of course, that he's going to lose all the position. But, like you said, we're going to stay green here. So let's say they're going to keep things going right now. Still see that same battle up front. Looks like a couple drivers may have lost a little bit of momentum from the draft as well there. I think Dalton Hayes may have fallen off the back, as is the 90 of John Brill. But we still got about, looks like 16 cars here in the battle here as we have 3 to go.
Trying to figure out what Gabe's strategy is here. If he's going to take it 3 wide, I don't think he would have any help behind him.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a teammate behind him, so I don't think it would work. I'll say it's going to be tough. Really, the only driver right now that has options, I feel like, is that 25 of Kevin Freeze, where he can try to go to the top if he wants to. I keep watching that 76 of Jim Brooks. He's so tantalizingly close to try to get to the top of the 89 car, but he's just never quite clear of him as we have 2 to go here at Daytona. So say if these drivers are going to have an opportunity to make a move, it's going to have to be soon. Come out of turn number 2, still holding pretty steady.
Might be able to get there.
Yeah, there's a bit of a run. Oh, looks like Matt's still just at his quarter panel there. He's so close, like you said. It's so close, but just not quite there enough yet. If he can push that 25 just a little, like an inch further forward, he probably could have squeezed up there if he wanted to. But at this point, though, we're gonna be coming around here. We're gonna see if we can take the white flag, and if that is, this will be the last lap of the race. Should an incident occur, we will race back to the finish. And we get to the white flag. So now it's going to be, again, Dude Conrad on the inside. Kevin Freeze right behind him. Then you got Matt Quick to the outside. 10 of Corey Lane pushing him. Jim Brooks right inside of them. Was trying to find a way to sneak through there. Hasn't happened yet. We'll see what happens as they come out of turn number 2 down the backstretch for the final time.
I would assume 25 is going to take it as soon as he gets a chance.
Oh, Matt Quick gets a huge push now from that 10 of Corey Lane. Corey's doing everything he can. You see them moving 3 wide as well. Saw the 44 get to the top here as they enter turn number 3. Matt Quick's got a good push from Corey Lane. We'll see what they're able to do as they come off of 4. Right now, Dude Conrad. Oh, there's contact between the 2 of them. There's a couple of them hang onto it at the line. Oh, it's going to be close for 3rd. I'm not sure who it was. Dude Conrad's going to win, though. Kevin Freeze 2nd. I'm not sure who got there between Kevin Hash and Jim Brooks. Looks like Kevin may have just got around him by, it looks like an 0.008 of a second there. Looks like Kevin Hash may have grabbed that 3rd position.
I believe he did.
Let's go back and see what happened there. Coming to the checkers here. So it's I think just hard drafting there. It looks like the 10 and the 89 were trying to push each other. So let's see if we can get a better look at this one here. Oops, that's not a better look. I went too far too soon. Yeah. Oh, you can see actually Corey Lane just a little bit staggered off to the right rear of the 89 of Matt Quick. Tries to give him a push there, and just when you're not lined up, that's going to unfortunately hook that car And I say since he was to the outside there, just kind of right hooks him, unfortunately. Nothing Matt can do there, and then that's going to make contact with Corey. Gabe Butler, same thing for him, nothing he can do. And then from there, so you see Jim Brooks there, he's able to sneak around them there. Looks like Jack Wall's trying to see if he can get by as well. Oh, but he gets hit by Dwight Plush, so that's where he gets caught up in that one as well. But then that fight for third, though, between that 0-3 of Kevin Hash and the 76 of Jim Brooks as they come across here, you see them, they had to go to the apron to avoid that one. But then you see, though, here comes that 0-3. He gets a big head of steam. Jim's running that short line. But as they come across the line here, we'll see how close it was for this third place. You see there, though, up front, Dude Conrad's going to grab that win. He's got Kevin Freeze right behind him. But at the line, you see, you're going to see that start-finish line come up in just a moment. And here it is. And that's the difference right there. Just about a fender for that 0-3 of Kevin Hash in front of Jim Brooks for that third position. But say so, really good fight there at the very end between the two of them there. Really good. I'd say I don't know how Kevin was able to keep the momentum there. That was a really good job by that 0-3 car. So with that, that is our final results for the evening. Dude Conrad getting the win. Kevin Freeze grabs second. Kevin Hash grabs that third spot at the last second. We're going to pull up some drivers here and get some interviews. And I'd say I think it's going to be easy to find, but they're going to be all on the inside line. Alright, we're going to pull up that number 0-3 car of Kevin Hash. Say was on that inside line, able to make that last pass here at the very end there. Got the momentum on the inside. Say, don't know how you're able to make that move work there. I say Talladega, sure I saw, but Daytona, I don't know how you're able to get that momentum and get to the top side and grab that third spot.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of a victim of circumstance there in order to get to third there. Quick hadn't, whatever happened with Quick and Corey and all them up top, just left enough room, and I knew Jim was going to either had a little bit of contact or was going to check just a little bit, so I'd left a little bit of room to get a pull, and it managed to work. I really didn't think it was going to, but got pretty lucky there.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the way it goes sometimes at these races. Let's say able to grab that third spot there tonight. Let's say started in the 24th position. I want to say you actually started from the pits as well. I want to say this evening. So I mean you've definitely had your work cut out for you tonight. To first obviously to get back into the lead pack there, and then just to kind of work your way through the field here this evening. And of course, avoid some of those incidents as well.
Oh yeah, I had some issues. I wasn't able to qualify. My sim actually froze up as qualifying flipped over. I got stuck on a 0 timer, so I had to exit out and went through a mad dash trying to get it to where it let me back in. Pretty much had to go through the command prompt to get back into the race, and finally got everything situated so I could join back. And Gabe and Dude both said they were going to start in the pits, so I joined them and with Ray as well, and we had 4 extremely fast cars there, so we knew it was going to be hard pressed for us to get lapped. We just needed a little bit of luck to go our way.
Well, you definitely did that. And saying again, we talked about that teamwork. Now it's working obviously in a very different situation there, where you kind of had some teammates jump with you in the pits there, so to help you again not have to roll solo there during the beginning of the race. So again, hats off to you guys. Just the unselfishness of this team is just really impressive to see. So so I mean, able to go from starting in the pits, starting 24th, all the way up into that third position here. Great job tonight. Anybody you would like to thank for that performance this evening?
Just all the teammates and all of them started in the pits with us. I just enjoy racing with these guys. We always have a blast. Me and Dude always trying to give each other a hard time. So make sure you give him a hard time in the interview. Ask him some hard questions here. But Kevin Freeze, I hope I didn't butcher his last name. Always go through and call him the better Kevin. So that way we can tell them apart. I was really hoping I get past him so I get that title back for a week. But yeah, just the performance these guys have and just the skill set they have. It's just awesome to be a part of this group.
Yeah, I mean, you guys show week in and week out. Your team and everybody there together is gonna be definitely a force to be reckoned with. So proved it again tonight with that top 3 for all of you guys. So congrats and say enjoy it, and I'll say go get that better Kevin title here next week.
I'll definitely try to. Thank you guys for the broadcast, and we'll see if we can't do it again next week.
All right, so that's 0-3 of Kevin Hash coming home in that 3rd position tonight. As they had some technical difficulties he had to work on to try to get into that mix. However, in that 2nd position is that number 25 of Kevin Fries. So let's get him over here and have a chat. So I guess that's tonight. Looks like, Roy, this is going to be the better Kevin. So pull in the better Kevin, number 25. So I guess you got a weekly battle there between yourself and Mr. Hash. So this week you're going to be the better Kevin. I say you're running strong here this season. I say started 2nd, able to finish 2nd as well. I say talked about that commitment. I was curious to see if at some point you're going to try to jump to the top side and use that momentum off of Matt Quick, see if you could get him to give you a shove there at the end. But I say you and Dude looked like you were pretty committed to each other there on that inside line coming to the finish here.
Yeah, in the beginning of the race, it seemed like the high line could get something going, but towards the end, the bottom line was just dominant. You'd pull away in the end of the turn, and you could keep it the whole straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, yeah, again, I mean, the teamwork you guys have, I mean, you were able to kind of put on a show again there. How were you at all worried on temperatures towards the end of that race? Because I mean, we saw a lot of cars working as close together as possible. They're trying to obviously push. That's the way you got to go with these cars. Was there any concerns on the temps on your end, or were you able to kind of stagger off just enough to keep those under control?
Able to keep it under control for the most part. That final lap, I mean, whatever happens, happens. I was just pushing as hard as I could. And when the top lane broke up a little bit and we were able to pull away, I cooled off a bunch at that time.
Well, I'll say maybe your first season with the team, but you're definitely showing you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I say again, a really good result here. I don't know what the points are going to look like, but I think you're going to be right there up in the mix. So again, great run for you this evening. Any thanks and shouts that I could give for that 2nd place run tonight?
Yeah, just big shout out to all of our team. Some of them had some really, really bad luck tonight. Got caught up in those wrecks. But we worked really well when we were out there together, and it was a fun race.
All right, well, say again, congrats on that 2nd place finish. Just say a great run for you tonight. Again, great teamwork between you all, and say look forward to chatting again here with you soon.
Thanks. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
All right, Roy, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you have any tough questions we're able to ask for Mr. Conrad before we pull him in here?
I do not.
All right. I have a Monty Python question, but I cannot remember the actual quote of the question, so I don't want to butcher it, unfortunately. So I don't know. Here, I'll while we're watching that number 8 car, we're gonna make him sweat it out just a second here. I'm gonna find that question.
What is it? What is the flight velocity of an African swallow?
Yeah, it's one of those ones. As I'm trying to find the exact quote of it. Nah, said I don't want to make him wait too long, so I'll go with the rough question on it. All right, so we're gonna pull in our race winner here, that number 8 of Dude Conrad. Able to get it done there. Had some help behind you with that teammate Kevin Fries. Also had to hold off that top side, and of course things looked a lot better. Of course, coming to the checker where you saw that contact, unfortunately, towards that top side. But I say Matt Quick was definitely giving you a run for your money there at the very end.
Oh yeah, he's a daddy. We had good help there at the end. I just got lucky there. Kevin Fries behind me and fighting with Matt Quick there. I don't know how I ended up in the top 15. We was in the back laughing and cutting it up. Next thing I know, I was 3rd. What the hell? What just happened?
Hey, this is Roy Booth. Hey, I was kind of curious. What was the strategy? Why starting in the pit? Was it just connection problems, or was that the strategy?
No, a teammate that had come in late or didn't qualify. I caught the tail end of it, and he was going to have to pit start, so we didn't want to leave him by himself.
You guys are working on the worst to best finish there.
That's always fun too, but you almost need a caution there to make that happen, or great pit stop, one or two.
Yeah, it was a good run. I'll let Gail finish his interview with you.
Don't hurry up. Where you going?
Yeah, so Kevin did want to make sure. Say, sounds like you two like to have fun with each other during the race and give each other a hard time. So I say he wanted me to figure out a difficult question for you. So I say the first thing that came to my mind was Monty Python. So I say we got to ask you if you know the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow.
That thing on? I don't know who Monty Python is, and yes.
We'll have to get you watching some films here in the future, but take us through your race, because obviously there were some pretty big incidents here, and it seemed like they all kind of fell right during the caution, or not caution, sorry, right at that pit window, like around that lap 50 mark, the lap 25 mark. Let's say just the way those things fell. I say, did you have to use any fast repairs in this one? I can't keep track of who got caught up in what, because there's a couple massive wrecks here tonight.
Yeah, even though we started in the back, we got arc to brake pretty bad there at the beginning. I think I used my first quick repairs and the first two cautions. So I was just, a rebel there at the end. It's weird how that happens. But, I've had some bad luck here lately. Before we get to the white flag, it seems like, bam, there it is. The caution's out, so that's part of it here at Strict Plate.
Well, it sounds like, a few weeks ago we had that number 7, Dale Willoughby. He was able to break some of his bad luck. So tonight you're able to do the same there. So that you guys in that team, you guys work so well together. Just the unselfishness, like you said, starting from the pits just to help a teammate out. So there's not a lot of guys that would do that. So again, hats off to you all for working so well together, and of course on your end for able to put your car in the right place at the right time and hold off those challenges at the end, pull off the win here. So. That being said, though, I can't let you go yet, because I gotta make sure you have a chance for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for anybody that helped you get this win tonight.
Oh, just the team, the prep that goes into it. It's a blast working with these guys. They're the best that I know of, anyway. What they do, they're a blast to work with. We're always cutting up, giving each other hell. Matt Quick kind of flirts with me a little too much. It's uncomfortable. But other than that, it's just good. It's awesome.
All right, well, congrats again on the win, dude. Enjoy it. Look forward to chatting with you guys again here soon.
Oh, you bet, bud. Awesome job on the broadcast, guys. It's a blast watching y'all.
I appreciate it. You guys put on a good show. It makes it a little easier for us to do our jobs up here.
Yeah, that's a great job. I wouldn't change a damn thing. Y'all did great.
Appreciate that.
All right, so that's our race winner, that number 8 of Dude Conrad. You got some dueling burnouts there with that number 03 of Kevin Hash here on after they finished up the race tonight. Pretty wild race. I'll say some really good racing and some big incidents here tonight. Kind of not par for the course, but plate racing. If you're going to have an incident, especially those last couple ones, it seemed like they all kind of happened right up the very front, and at that point there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate. Like I said, usually those happen mid-pack to the back, and it doesn't collect a bunch of people. But man, they were happening up front tonight. Maybe the team starting in the pit threw everything off tonight.
Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag between those two, between the two kind of groups of the team. So you had those 4 that started in the pits together, and then you had a couple there that had to hang on to that starting positions. But you see, dude there gets the win. Kevin Freeze started in second. He's able to grab second position. Kevin Hash started in the pits as well. He gets third. So it doesn't matter where these guys start, because you're going to find them towards the front at some point or other in this race.
Absolutely, every week.
All right, so with that, we're going to pull up our final results for the evening. See there again, Dude Conrad picking up the win. Kevin Freeze in the second position. We saw Kevin Hash make that move, come into the checkered flag, get around Jim Brooks for that third position. Because again, you know how much these drivers want to talk to us, because that's going to be the highlight of their week. In 5th, though, you got Brandon Pasalacqua, Robbie Richards 6th, Michael Spell 7th, Bud Steele 8th, Eugene Fernan in 9th. Mitchell Wilkes able to move his way up into the top 10. Great run for Mitchell there, having to overcome some difficulty in that race himself. Then got 11th through 20th. So unfortunately there, Matt Quick, Corey Lane, not the results they were hoping for in 11th and 13th. Say they're trying to make that top line work, just didn't get lined up at the very end. Saying that's kind of what did them in there at the end of the race there. You see John Brill able to grab a 16th position there. Again, try to stay out of the way with that connection issues until it was pretty much go time. So he did a great job of hanging on and sticking it out and getting a good result here. Yeah, the remainder of the field. Unfortunately, Logan Hilton again having just some bad luck. I say kind of went from bad to worse with that first the wreck and then what happened there on the entry to the pits. Eric Schaus there, you see him I'm trying to remember actually what happened to Eric. So they showed him 16 laps down, so I must have missed something. I'm not sure what happened there. Same thing actually for Charles Johnson, Dale Willoughby, Chad Wilkes. I'm guessing that big wreck towards the end must have taken them out of contention. You see the final three there: Mark Brown, Eric Laurie, and Evan Pienta. Not the evenings they were looking for tonight. All right, so that's the halfway point of the season here. We got 6 down, 6 to go. Say we're at the midway point in the whole Area 51 League season as well here. So, say before I let you go, any final thoughts on your end?
No, it's like I said, halfway through. Maybe some of the luck will turn around for some of these drivers that are used to winning these races. But overall, it's getting better every week. This was kind of different than the last few, unfortunately, but some tempers flaring, but it'll settle down. We'll get some good racing in again.
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, pretty good race. I mean, it's only 4 cautions for 12 laps in a 75-lap race. And saying again, I say it seems worse than it was just because I feel like those cautions were huge cautions that took out a big chunk of drivers. Let's say again, having to use some of those faster pairs through the evening. But yeah, like you said, these Adams have definitely done a really good job of kind of getting and I think, of course, all the drivers kind of starting to mesh well together and everything like that as well. So as a whole, I think, like you said, things have definitely been looking up and up. So I say I'm definitely looking forward to the remainder of the 6 weeks of the season here. And, of course, then we'll have Season 6 here before we know it.
Absolutely. It's been a good season working with you up here in the booth, Gael, for this first 6 races, other than no internet last week. Yeah,
so I definitely appreciate you joining me in here. So like I said, I don't know how it's only been 6 races for you doing this, because it feels like you've been doing this forever now. And so you've just kind of taken on so well with it. So yeah, I definitely really appreciate you being a part of this as well. It's made my life so much easier and just so much more enjoyable to be part of these races.
I appreciate it. We still have 6 more to go, so hopefully I can get better.
All right, so for ourselves here in the booth again, myself, Kyle Brooks, then we got Roy Wheeler joining me. Really want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Again, congrats to our top 3 there, Jude Conrad, Kevin Fries, and Kevin Hash. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday evening. Say back to reality for some of us tomorrow. So again, if at all possible, if you can, please try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and until Tuesday with the Indy cars, have a wonderful Monday, and look forward to catching you on Tuesday night. So take care and have a good night.